Let's discuss trigonometric ratios. Don't be intimidated by that word. Just think about it as rules for the lines of right triangles. Students often find it easy to use a memory device known as SOHCAHTOA. I've written it at the top here. The S in SOHCAHTOA stands for sine, and the O and H stand for opposite and hypotenuse. The C stands for cosine, and the A and H stand for adjacent and hypotenuse. And the T in SOHCAHTOA stands for tangent, and the O and A stand for opposite and adjacent. So what does that mean? Whenever you have a right triangle, the easiest thing for you to do first is to first identify the hypotenuse, which is always across from the right angle. Here's your right angle, so the line across from that is always going to be your hypotenuse. So let's label that as the hypotenuse. Okay. Now let's say we were talking about angle A. We've already labeled the hypotenuse. What is the line opposite of A? Here it is. So that's the opposite line. That means the last line is the adjacent line, or the line next to A. Students often worry about labeling the adjacent line, but if you label the hypotenuse and the opposite line first, then that just leaves the adjacent as the last line. Okay. Now, if you want to identify the sine of A, that means you have to have the line opposite over the hypotenuse. So here's your opposite line, 3 over hypotenuse 5. My pens are not cooperating. Okay. If you want the cosine of A, that means you want the adjacent over the hypotenuse, 4 over 5. And if you want the tangent of A, that means you want the opposite over adjacent. Here's the opposite, here's the adjacent, 3 over 4. It's not any harder than that. In the next video, we'll do another set of trigonometric ratios. See how you do.